I can do this without the hat. Oh my goodness, the brightness levels are just all gonna go. Must be an 8-liter one.
It's about
8 liters.
8 liters. I mean, think about a 2-liter bottle. That would fit 1.5 2-liter bottles.
You Americans, that would be 20 gallons.
I bet that's a 5-liter bag. First time in a year and a half.
How's life?
Life is good. Life is good.
Japan has decided that we don't need masks anymore.
We're gonna have to get back to normal at some point. What do you think?
But what is normal?
What is normal?
I don't think there is going back to normal. I've been watching more and more of those kind of liminal spaces kind of videos. Do you know what a liminal space is?
I know approximately what that word means. I don't know what that video genre is.
I mean, it's videos. It's a selection of photos that have like the liminal effect, I guess you would say. You know, when you see like a room or like a scenery that kind of reminds you of, I must have been here, but you never have. But it just brings that kind of feeling of nostalgia or places you know. So a couple of those are like when you see those either nature or like old hotels or like a backyard, something that you could have had, might have had, or some of your friends have had, and then you're like, oh, this feels very like nostalgic. So that was like, this feels normal, and I don't think it will ever feel like this again. Is the thought I had this morning, because I was looking at it, I was like, oh, and then it had the trendy music, and it said it's just like put some grain on it, and you know it already feels kind of like, oh yeah, I wish I was whatever 6 or 13 or whatever.
Well, I guess that begs the question: what is normal? I think you already asked.
There you go, coming back.
I think everyone's normal is probably what they're nostalgic for, and I think that nostalgia comes from, I don't know. I'm somebody who thinks of my own childhood as having been pretty good, I think.
Hold on. Did you just say everyone is normal?
No, I didn't say everyone is normal.
Everyone's normal.
Oh, so everyone's...
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, not everyone's normal.
Possessive normal is probably based on the nostalgia of a time that they're remembering really fondly.
Yeah.
Hopefully be able to remember fondly. But yeah, I wonder if every generation has felt like, as things change around them and as the familiarity that they had up until whatever age starts to dissipate and move into the next generation's reality.
Yeah.
If it's just this overwhelming feeling of, things are getting worse, it's not like it used to be.
It's not like it used to be.
Not like it used to be.
Yeah,
Don't make them like, that kind of cynicism. I feel like that actually, it's really getting into it. Like that really pushes conservatism too, because as people live through a reality that is constantly changing, and they're like, yeah, but I really enjoyed it when it was like, and then it's, well, that means change must be bad.
Yeah, that's going into a little bit of a different thing. Okay. But I do agree that everyone's normal is kind of what they lived through when they couldn't form sentences. But that's what I'm saying. So that means that no one's normal is this normal with masks and the Rona. Unless you're from like the 16th century.
Yeah.
Still don't. So yeah, we're going back to no masks.
No masks.
I will be still doing mask things.
Specifically at work, right?
Specifically at work.
Me too.
Still. It's just for Japan, I guess it's just the feeling of social embarrassment that you're made to feel like a social pressure. You know what I mean? So
For wearing or not wearing?
for wearing or not wearing, but for not wearing, because masks have never been like you have to wear a mask in Japan.
Yeah, there was never a true mandate for it.
Yeah, it's just that like everyone is doing it, so if you don't do it, you're not part of the society kind of thing. Which Japan does with a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a long period of transitioning of okay, it's okay not to now if you choose to.
Yeah, I guess each individual is going to have to balance their own anxieties about it. And to be fair, masks were definitely worn by people for 10 different reasons prior to COVID. So
Yeah, I haven't got
Some
sick
of them.
once in these 3 years,
such a good point. And
except
such a-
last week.
Okay, sick last week. But yeah, that's the thing. I haven't had a cold. I haven't had the flu. I haven't had anything in so many years that. And I'm sure someone would say, you know, if they're a allergist or something, they'd say, oh, yeah, but that's bad for your immune system. You're training your body to be weak. I don't really care. I don't want to throw up. I don't want to be homesick. The headache, it's a miserable experience. So I don't know if I could somehow ride this out until my inevitable death without getting really sick a lot. Maybe I'll wear a mask intermittently for the rest of my life. I say that now. I don't know. Ask me again in 6 months.
All right. Next episode in 6 months.
6 months. Or a year and a half, as was our previous pet.
Oh, come on. I gotta say it like that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it's 2023. What are your plans for 2023 in this new normal that we're...
To get naked.
That's good. This is coffee number 2 for me, by the way.
No one's gonna look at our faces anyways. Really?
Yeah.
2? For you? Don't you get like, oh, I can't have more than 30% of the coffee?
You'll have 2 coffee done in about 15 minutes.
All right. I have to
So
wrap
you'll
it
have
up.
You'll have to slow down the audio when you edit this.
So the goals for 2023 is to take it real slow.
Take it real slow.
Know what I mean? Just real slow.
Milos, do you know what that means? Do you know
Well-
what taking it slow means? Because I haven't seen you do that.
Let me tell you, I just had a 7-day work week, and I think I'm starting to understand what taking it slow means.
Or at least the value of it.
Value of not going 7 day.
Yeah, you have, as I've said many a time, you have a very admirable work ethic that I don't think I could maintain.
I just don't know how to manage my time. I think that's what it is. I think I'm just bad at management, not have a good work.
Wow. Well, I mean, what a nice silver lining to an inability that you have.
Yeah. Well, I think that's also another thing I wanted to ask you, because it's been a year since we recorded.
At least, yeah. I think that was October 2021 when we last talked.
So I wanted to ask you. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of a time to prepare.
Here we go. Okay.
What have you learned in this 1 year? And then you can think about it for 30 seconds while I say my piece.
Please say your
Okay?
piece. Take
This
your
is my
time.
piece.
Okay.
Getting the 9 out. Okay. I don't know if we talked about this last time, but I think, well, when you said your inability to do this and that, I think more and more I'm on the somewhere on the spectrum is like a is like a given thing now with the ADHDs and all that. I keep, man. I had like this happened last week. I ordered food and I ordered a little bit too much. And I was like, okay, I'll eat this later or tomorrow, whatever. And then I don't even know how many days later, I saw the thing on my microwave, on my oven, and I was like, what is this? When? Was this last night or 3 days ago? I had no recollection of it. So that's the object permanence thing or whatever, and it's becoming more and more obvious now. It's like anytime I don't see it, I'm like, I forget about it.
Oh, that's interesting.
As far as I know, that's also like a big part of the ADHD and DDDs. I don't know. I have not been diagnosed.
Yeah.
But my friends who are, we share a lot of symptoms, and I'm like, holy crap, this makes a lot of sense now. So I'm getting more and more into it, discovering what's up, and trying to fix my system based on that. Because I don't see it, then it won't exist for me.
Okay.
Basically, it will to some extent, but I won't be able to manage it. So that's what happens with my time as well. And that's why I don't check if I work tomorrow until I go to bed.
Yeah. You're famous for that.
Yeah.
Hey, do you work tomorrow? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Are you going to set an alarm?
Yeah. That's one thing, and then
Okay, well,
I need to explore more on that. And I don't know if we talked about this last time, but attachment styles.
I think we wanted to talk about this.
Yeah.
We didn't.
We talked on our rides or whatever, but I don't think we talked it yet. So, but attachment styles is definitely something that's been very helpful. And now every time I talk to my friends about it, when I go like on a little date excursion with one of my friends, and it's like they talk to me about their boyfriends who neglected them or whatever. It's like, okay, what's the attachment type? And they're like, what? Touch is my love language. It's like, no, that's not what I'm going for. What is your attachment? Yeah. So every time I talk about that, it's a very good. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's very interesting. I didn't know that. So if you do not know that, it's a very useful strategy to know, useful thing to know about yourself and your partners, and discover why they might or you might behave in a certain way in a certain situation. That's been a very, very, very good learning experience for me.
Yeah, you've been really insightful about that recently, I've noticed. And you gave me that book.
Is that the book that I gave you?
You did. You gave it to me as a birthday present. I read half of it, and it has acted as a sort of decoration on top of my dresser.
That's what books do, yeah.
But it's something that I think we talked about this the other night. We were talking about when you're younger, if someone had taken you aside and been like, by the way, there's this thing, this pattern that tends to happen with people where they have attachment styles. And if you could recognize that as early as possible, you might be able to kind of mitigate the negative effects of being one or the other.
Yeah.
Because I didn't think about that stuff till I was late 30s. And when I think about some of the patterns that I fell to in previous relationships, both romantic and platonic and familial.
Aristotle.
Yeah. Probably would have gone about things a little bit differently. That's cool.
Yeah.
You've realized that?
Yeah. So just like a 10-second summary of attachment styles. So mostly you have like 3 attachment styles. One is secure attachment style, which is Dawn. So whenever something happens, open communication. I felt this way in this situation. Can we talk about it? That's attachment style secure. And then we have the anxious type, which
I'm about 10%, by the way.
That's fine. So that's attachment styles also on a spectrum. So it's not 100%. Any changes based on your partner. So you haven't texted me for 4 hours since you woke up. What's going on? Are you cheating on me? That's anxious. And then avoidant type is yo, come on. Why are you gonna say it like that? Avoidant type is we get really close. The closer we get, the more you have to make some distance and take some time for yourself. So it can be very loving and caring and then disappear for 2 weeks, which was my last partner and got me into learning about attachment styles.
Yeah.
So I am either avoidant or anxious. Was in that situation, but otherwise I'm super secure if I get over the I need my space.
I think you're so
right.
A
mixture of that.
Yeah, I think you could be any one of those 3, and I think recently you have tended to be maybe the avoidant type in some of your relationships. And that's a difficult one probably to be and also to be with.
Yeah, but no, it's easier because I can just say them.
Mhm.
I can just say that to my partner and be like, yo, I might have a thing that I need some space. That doesn't mean
Mhm.
I don't like you or whatever. I just need like a reset.
I think that's a really common type as well. Like when I think about other people who kind of exhibit those behaviors, I would say
You know why?
a lot of people have that. Especially, maybe I don't want to say especially. No, that's not fair to the past. But why? Please tell me.
Because avoidance, like in the general spectrum, this is like a research I read a while ago. That's only like 20% of the people are avoidance.
Oh, that was in the book. Yeah.
There
That's
you go.
it.
But because of the rate of them changing partners, they appear to be much more active and much more in the open
The
wild.
greater effect. Yeah.
Because if you're
Influence.
secure, you're gonna have one partner and be like together forever. But if you're
You're also probably going to be less interesting to talk about. So you're like, oh, my boyfriend is so secure.
so caring, Jesus Christ, man. I tried to make some drama last night, and it was like, hey, let's talk about it. It's like, oh man, I just want to have a fight.
Couldn't even have a fight. Yeah. That's a good
So
point.
that's it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
So yeah,
Very mature of you to be able
styles
to
and
analyze about yourself.
spectrum. Yeah, I have to make it work.
By the way, since we've mentioned a book, do you know the name of that book offhand? It's called
Attachment Theory
Theory.
by I something.
Me? My turn?
Yes.
Let's see. What have I learned in this last year?
What have you learned
I'm
since last coffee?
41 years old.
Hey.
And yeah, I have realized that aging is not a linear process. And there are days when I look around at these young people and I go, oh, I'm just like them. That's me. That's me over there. Being young and being healthy and fit and energetic. And then other days I'm like, my body hurts. And yeah, I guess I thought that it would just be sort of a gradual process, but it's more like the way that I feel about myself, the way that I think I look, and the way that I identify in terms of like my age and my ability or my inabilities or whatever is not really consistent with how my body hurts and how much sleep I think I need. And maybe I was saying this to you recently, but you know, all those old people in my childhood who were like, it's hell getting old, and saying all these I don't know, just people making comments about how it'll creep up on you and you won't realize it. It's unfortunately almost all true. And so my similarly aged partner, she often just says to me like, welcome to your 40s.
When you realize something, and you're
it's
like, oh my goodness,
and she just looks at me and
yeah,
welcome
that's
to
what
your
happens.
40s. I'm like, so
yeah,
I realized that
that's
it's
happening.
never gonna stop. Yeah, it's just it is part of the process.
It's true. I was helping Ayana move the other day, and we were talking about something, and I just realized, and I told her, oh, you know that feeling when you start using I used to do this and this instead of I do. We were talking about like something physical, and I was like, yeah, I used to do capoeira. I was like, I haven't done it in a while.
I very much felt that way the other night when I saw you playing the football, soccer.
Oh yeah.
Which I'd never seen you play before. First of all, fantastic player. So agile.
My foot still hurts from that.
I bet. That was a week ago. And there was, probably 10, 12 of you, and you guys are like, oh, come on out and play. And I'm like, have you seen these knees? Like, it's not going to happen. Like, I can't.
You got long legs, though. Like, one of your steps is like me running for 10 minutes.
Also, it was a bit intimidating watching you guys play. I was like, oh, that person played in college. That person definitely played in college.
Yeah.
That person definitely played in college.
Yeah.
It's like, where are their legs? It was just like... And I would go out there and be like, 1, 2, 1. Like, I wouldn't be able to hang with you guys. So, I was flattered to be invited, but
Yeah.
I'm a much better spectator than a player.
No, that's also one of the things that I thought, because I only played street style, and that
Street style.
not like educated football. It was just like run and see what you did on what you saw on the telly. But then I was like, my legs were super fast. Was that a very Japanese sentence?
It was a very
Would you
Japanese
say
sentence.
something like that in English?
My legs were very fast.
足が速かったね。
Yeah.
God damn it. I've been
Yeah.
Japanified. My legs were super fast, and then at that
My
age...
leg work was...
No, not even leg work.
How the
I
hell
didn't
would you
have
say that in
dribbling.
English?
I was fast, would you say in English, I guess.
It's fast.
And then
Specifically
I was a little bit, I grew up a little bit faster than the other kids. So I got the physical at that time.
Definitely have physical.
And
Now as well.
now it's just remnants of those. So listen, dude, I competed in like city competition for 100 meters 20 years ago.
Oh, you were a short distance runner?
Yeah, I did 100 meters in 12.001.
It was long distance, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but it sounds great.
And then the first guy who went through was 12.1 or something stupid like that.
Okay.
So it was 10 milliseconds or something. And I didn't go through, and that's where my career ended. I was like, I give up. But yeah, I had that. I had the physical, and now I'm like, oh man, my hips.
My hips.
So yeah, it's definitely things are definitely changing. You know?
Yeah.
No hips, no masks. What else is gonna be like? All right, so you learned something about
I just learned
that's
that
not linear.
It's not linear, and that it's a constantly changing process.
It might be a good thing though, and it's not linear, you know, because I also have like friends your age who are like doing the yogas and whatnot, and we're like super like.
That's something I've been doing a little bit at home, and I'm a watch one YouTube video about how to do yoga.
Okay.
And how I do yoga.
Know it all,
And
yeah.
that's not know it all, but like that's as far as I'm willing to take it.
Okay.
I haven't attended a lesson or anything like that, but I find it really rewarding. Kind of as a deterrent to that aging process that I'm talking about. Like if I actually take the 25 minutes to stretch before I go to bed, what a difference.
Okay.
I would go back and tell my young self if I could find
Yeah.
a time machine and be like, stretch every day from 18 on.
That's the thing though. You don't need it when you're 80.
Starting those habits maybe is what I mean, like embedding those into your day.
But you don't realize the importance of it, because I used to be like, oh man, warming up is such a waste of time, and I'd be like doing flips and shit like immediately, and I'm like super okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, man, if I don't do like a 7 to 15 minutes warm up just for the gym, and not anything like acrobatic or whatever, I'm like, oh, this is gonna leave a mark. So now I know the importance of it. And I would still go to my younger self, man, enjoy the no warm up routine as far as you can. Bodies are weird.
Yeah, they are.
That's it. I just don't want to do anything. I just want to chill out. Now that the weather is nice, just open up a window, maybe take a walk, stay at home, play games.
It's not life.
Yeah.
Do you feel guilt?
No.
No. But I mean, honest question. At any point in that process, at any point in your life, have you ever felt guilty for relaxing?
Oh, yeah.
I hate that because I get that too.
That's the capitalism's fault.
That's capitalism,
right?
for sure.
Reward system and all that. Yeah, but I mean, you're smarter than that. Don't fall into the brains of capitalism.
Might be smarter than that overall, but in the moment,
Yeah, I know. I get it.
the number
If you get like 2 days in a row, you're like, ah, man, I'm a nobody. I'm a lazy dirtbag or what. But you should never feel like that. I do get it.
But you've seen me, like it's been a long time because house parties and things like that haven't happened for the last 3 years. But you've seen me at like when I have guests at my house.
Yeah.
I can't sit down. I just can't relax. I'm like always like, I need to be doing something. If people are here,
I would separate.
like what a
those.
waste of time it would be to sit.
Man,
Well, yeah,
I would
it's
separate.
but it's
It's being
you're right.
a good host or whatever. That's your idea of being a good.
But I'm the same way
I
on a
do the
day off
same
at
thing.
home by myself.
Okay, that's a problem.
Yeah, I'll be like, I'm going to watch a movie today. And then it's like, I'm going to do laundry, water my plants, listen to a podcast, wash the dishes while eating. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, I
Yeah.
haven't sat down or drank water today.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I think I've told you this last time, and I don't know if it translates well, but all of those kind of menial tasks, I just don't want to do it. I get more and more right people like do like house cleaning, rent someone, ordering food, not doing laundry by yourself. That stupid idea that almost came true that Amazon delivery people can get into your room and clean up your room or whatever. You can give them the
I even heard
key.
about that.
Yeah. It's like I'm like, man, fuck it, yeah. I just don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
It's like you said, like all of that things that you just mentioned, a lot like laundry, paying the bills, cleaning this, cleaning that.
Especially when you live alone.
It's a day over. Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's done. You're like, oh man, I did so many things. And you're like, but nothing actually.
You know what's the worst is when you do all that stuff and then you're like, oh, but I didn't make food yet.
yeah.
Which is kind of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get to be like, oh, I haven't eaten, I'm hungry, and now I have nothing energy-wise left to make food.
Yeah.
That's my day-to-day.
It depends. I would also say that it depends. It can be therapeutic. I know my brother is insane, so he likes like cleaning and everything.
We really are alike, aren't we?
Yeah. You are, yeah. So he finds like cleaning the dishes, be like he can zone out. Be like that's the thing. I also, I guess, zone out, but I'm more aware of my tiny ass kitchen, and then it gets me thinking of, man, I need to do more so I can move to a bigger place. And then it's just again, dread. Yeah. I get
Dread.
the side effects of capitalism. So if you add like a nice little, nice clean little marble on your kitchen, you're like, oh yeah, let me just wipe this off, put this on, and it can be nice. It can be like very Marie Kondo kind of like therapeutic thing. But if it's just like, okay, I have to do this now, otherwise I won't be able to use the things that I use on a daily basis for tomorrow, then it's just stress.
Yeah. I heard a little rumor about her, Marie Kondo.
Oh yeah?
Kondo Mari-san. She, apparently she's had 2 or 3 kids. This is all anecdotal. I haven't looked into this, but someone told me that she herself has realized that her process of going through things she doesn't need and kind of downsizing and simplifying as an adult and as a parent with 3 kids or 2 kids or whatever she has now, it's just like, oh yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah.
She came to a realization like, oh, this is aspirational and best, but like, I think she's almost kind of given up on her own style. I'll have to look into that. But I heard that and I just laughed. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
But when the Netflix show came out, she already had like 2 kids.
Maybe she's got like 4 now. I don't know, but
she was like, one of the other questions like, how do you do it with kids? And she was like, yeah, I just make it into a game. So okay, take a sponge, clean up the shit. But I mean, kids, having kids is. I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either.
Can't take care of myself while other tiny little human being.
How are the houseplants?
Most of them are still alive. The one that you got me is still alive. I think
Success.
it's still going. Some of the leaves are kind of like a little bit, but they're not dead.
You have a north-facing and east-facing exposure in your apartment. It's a low-light situation.
Okay. Yeah. I leave the curtains open for them every day.
That's good. We're being serenaded. When I was a kid, I probably annoyed the hell out of my family, but I used to can walk around the house doing that, like
Doing
playing
what?
the trumpet with my hands and my face.
Oh, the air trumpet.
Yeah, like
Pretty good. I did the. I don't know. It's all of those things like. I did that the other day, and someone was like, "Oh man, why are you all foreigners good at that?" I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like
that is such a thing that is
saw
said
a couple
to
of people.
I guess.
Yeah, I saw like it was a Japanese friend of mine, and she was like, "Yeah, how do you do that? I can't do that." I was like that, like this.
Oh yeah,
the whistling. It's not like a thing. Yeah, many.
Is this rude in Japan to be like? Because like I'll do this, like over there, like as a way to call attention to like something. And I remember when I was a teacher, I had a lot of like 15-year-old students that would be like, "How do you do that?"
Yeah,
And I'm like, "This is so.
Yeah,
this is like
this
from
is-
the age of 3 on.
Yeah.
You can just do this."
Yeah.
So,
But I know the was it whistling? The whistle? That's the you're calling the snakes out, and that's like bad luck or whatever.
I had a dream last night
There you go.
about a snake,
It's all connected.
and when I woke up, my girlfriend said, "Oh, that's good. It means you're going to make money or something like that if you dream about a snake." And I was like, oh, "It wasn't a very pleasant dream, but sure." But okay, so if you whistle, snakes will come out.
If you whistle, then
Man, I didn't know this one.
snakes, yeah. That's the extent of it that I know.
Sure. Do you whistle always blowing out, or do you whistle when you breathe in too?
That's a very, I would say, interesting. But how the hell do you whistle inhaling it?
At some point, I always used to, when I was a kid, I always used to whistle by blowing.
Yeah.
And now, a lot of times when I whistle, especially like a lower, quieter whistle, it's like, it's
That's
sucking
inside?
in. Yeah.
I don't know about if
Like-
it's rude or not. Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe and the bell and ring it and turn it all around. That's what it's all about.
What a nice day. No wind.
Man, no wind makes a super difference. I went to work in my shorts yesterday.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's just
You were
yeah.
famous for never wearing shorts, even in like July and
I
August.
know.
And now you're like shorts in March, people.
I thought about that as well, and yeah, I was like the
Saw you,
first one
yeah.
there. Yeah, I was like, screw all of you. I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to heal my trauma because I have a very interesting relationship to work and work culture,
Yes.
and that can be that can seem like professional thing, and it can also be like demerit to my own personal benefits. Here are a couple of examples. So, like not wearing anything casual, like it's like, oh, you're so professional or whatever. It's seen as. That's why I never wore shorts.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I always change into my personal clothes when I go to lunch or whatever.
Was that before Japan too? Was that even in Serbia? Like you?
Well, I want to say yes, but I only did like a month's worth of work in Serbia, so
You don't really know.
yeah. But the relationship with like work culture is probably ingrained somewhere in there. But I had this situation when I was working at the cake shop, and then I was this a girl trainer. She came for like a fitness lesson.
Trainer.
Yeah, trainer. And she was like all in sportswear. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, coming from the gym, and then we have like a little conversation while I'm putting the cakes in. He's like, yeah. I was like, what did you do? I did ask. He's like, oh, nice. Yeah, that's the most important part. And and we just kept talking. And she went upstairs, and she goes downstairs, and then she talks to me basically. He's like, oh yeah. I'm actually from Okinawa. I'm just here for the lesson. I have to go. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then she keeps talking to me, and then I have the thing. She's obviously talking to me. This is the
The
well,
pitch.
yeah, okay, give me your Instagram, whatever. But I do have that sick relationship to work where like I'm at work. I probably shouldn't
Yeah.
mix it with personal.
Sorry, my boss. My boss.
Yeah. And I'm like not even like working there, but I still have that's also, relationship to work, and also I suck at talking to people I kind of like. And let me build up on that. But she left, and I turned to my boss, my friend, who I'm helping out, and she was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I saw hearts in the air. I'm like, why didn't you?
How many times have I said that?
So I come out and see her crossing.
Did you run down the street after her?
I didn't run, but I should have, because I got out and I look at her going away out of my life, and she turns back and look at me and waves. And I was like, "All right, see you never, my darling." And
That's
that was it. And that was it.
I'm just thinking of that time we went out and we played
No, come on.
ping pong.
Oh no,
Remember
come
that?
on. Okay, yeah, that was the one and only time I did run after it.
I should have talked to that girl, and you ran after her and couldn't find her.
I was like I said, Rosie, please tell me that kind of thing like a couple of minutes sooner so I can actually catch up with them, because I obviously don't realize it on my own that I'm an idiot. I had a chat with someone online, and we started speaking on Instagram and everything. And I was like, okay, let's go for a cup of coffee or whatever. And a day later, a message comes and it's like, yeah, I know we met on Bumble, but actually got with my ex-boyfriend a month ago. I was like, okay, all right.
Was that one of those, I'm using Bumble to meet people?
No, I think it was
sort of
we broke up and everything, but you took a month to invite me for a cup of coffee, so so I had time to.
So it wasn't on them; it was on you.
It was on me. It was always on me. That's the time perception thing, because to me that feels like 5 minutes, but I look at the log and it's like, oh, it's been a month.
Well, that speaks to how busy you've been. That speaks to how busy you've been.
No, I think it just speaks how sucky I am at talking to people. But also how busy I've been. What?
Are you hungry?
Not straight after a coffee.
Straight.
Coffee kind of gets me. Are you hungry?
Particularly hungry.
You can do like an Optimus Cafe if you're.
I actually have time to do that. Yeah, it's just down the way. Yeah. Delicious. Got some.
At least 2 episodes, yeah. Yeah, it's been an interesting episode. It was not all jokes, but not all serious stuff. Look at that guy. That guy is just gonna take the Willy out.
Oh,
and he's doing it. Oh my goodness! I was like,
Batman is pissing directly at us.
it's like, look, but the toilet is like
right
on the
there.
other side of the park. It's like 30 meters away from it.
So just turn around. If you turned around and arced it just enough, you might actually get it in the toilet.
Oh, he did the little. Okay, and then
I like how he went out of his way to hide himself from the people on the island.
Yeah.
By facing.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, everybody.
People on this side of the river.
Okay, got a special performance here.
That's a thing here.
Oh,
I remember the first time.
Oh yeah.
Now he's.
Is that Tai Chi? Or he's just like playing with the trumpet?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, man. Living his life, I guess.
Yeah. No, being your authentic self is certainly important. But that was pretty lazy.
But don't show me your Willy.
Literally right there.
Don't show me your Willy during morning coffee.
Want to go to Optimus?
Sure.
Let's do it. Should we get one more for the what do you call it, the thumbnail?
The camera is here, buddy.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Same you.
Okay, should we call it?
See you again next time.
Bye-bye.
I was going to show you. How I would like to feature you.
So you and I and everybody
art class.
I know. Think about it.